The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
So we talked about former President Trump. He once again defended coronavirus vaccines, even as it leads to rebukes from his most ardent followers. In an interview with right-wing commentator Candace Owens, Trump praised the vaccines and pushed back on skepticism common among his supporters.
More people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden, than under you. And more people took the vaccine this year. So people are questioning how...
Well, no, the vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. But it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. Look, the results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get it, it's a very minor form. The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind.
Welcome to the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. There you had Donald Trump, who basically was talking good about the virus, about the vaccine. And, there's going to be some things that come out of today's show that you're going to finally get an understanding on why he's doing this. Okay? Number one, I want first of all, let's get all the pleasantries out the way. Welcome to 2022, people. Okay, welcome to 2022. 2022 is going to be the year of the hustlers, I think. You got a lot of people out here who's getting money, and they're doing it the right way. And I want to give a thanks to all the people who supported me through 2021. And I hope you keep coming back. I'm going to try to keep giving you good information, things that I study on and try to find out about that's going on in our politics. I haven't really hit too much on sports in a while, but I do politics and things that are trending. And I'm going to start adding a little sports now that the coronavirus is slacking up a little bit. We'll try to add some sports on to this. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be alerted whenever one of my shows pop up. This is important, people, because matter of fact, I don't ask for money. I'm a truly independent show. You have a lot of YouTubers and podcasters on different platforms who have turned into conglomerations of almost like news broadcast stations. And it's a good thing. They're pushing back on this fascist dictatorship that they're trying to introduce into the country. And I like it and I appreciate it. But here, I am a truly independent person. I do all of my own work. And we do everything. I do everything myself here. And I don't have major backing by right or left wingers. So with that said, remember, hit that subscribe button if you're catching me on YouTube. If you follow me on iHeartRadio or any of the other podcast stations, flag me down as someone you want to watch. And every time one of my shows come up, you'll get a thing. You'll get an alert. Now let's get into the show. First of all, I want to talk about this Candace Owens chick, okay? This woman is corrupted. What I mean by when I say she's corrupted, I mean you got a lot of people out here who are hustling, and Donald Trump is good about surrounding himself with hustlers, scammers, schemers, plotters, and in their eyes, they're not doing nothing wrong because they're feeding their family. In my eyes, I can feed my family, but at the same time do what's morally right. In other words, like say with this show right here, say if someone was to come to me and say, man, look, we've been watching you for a while. We're going to give you $1 million if you start talking bad about black politicians on the Democrat side. Now, at that moment, I have a choice to do what's morally correct and say, nah, you know what, keep your money. Or I can take the money like Candace Owens, because like I say, there's millions of people in this country, millions. And some of these people debase themselves for money. She tried to get Donald Trump to talk about a narrative that somebody gave her by telling Donald Trump that more people have died under Biden than under Trump, and more people have been vaccinated. But Donald Trump pushed back on her, and I can't believe I'm saying this. You know, I'm talking good about Donald Trump for a change. He pushed back on this lady and told her that most of the people that are dying are actually the people who are unvaccinated. And you can see in her face, she really didn't want him to say that. You know, they had this narrative that all of these people, let me explain for my people who like me to explain, break things down for you. It's a loop that's going on with these conservatives, okay? They don't like the fact that Donald Trump lost. So what they're doing is they're telling people don't get the vaccine. The people who are not getting the vaccine are dying. So the people who are dying, those same people that's telling those people not to get the vaccine are coming back, and they're saying more people are dying under Joe Biden. They're using you and your death and the loved one's death in your family as a plot to disrespect Biden and maybe push him out of office. This is foolishness. You know, and all you need is just a little bit of education. You don't even have to be educated. All you need is a little bit of common sense, and you can see right through this, people. A lot of their constituents are starting to die. And this is scaring a lot of the Republican politicians. These are people who vote for them. So while they're getting on Fox News and all of these right-wing news stations and talking bad about the vaccine, all the Democrats who follow Joe Biden are getting vaccinated, and they still might get sick a little bit, but they're surviving. The people who are dying are these people who refuse to take the vax. Those are conservative supporters. They're basically killing their own self. Just like that picture you see with a snake biting its tail and consuming itself. That's what you see going on with the Republican Party. They're eating themselves alive. They got so much hatred in their hearts. They're eating themselves. You know, they're eating themselves. Let's get into further detail about this Candace Owens person, because this woman is really delusional. Now, I take that back. I take that back. And I very rarely take things back. It might not be that she's delusional. It might be that she knows it. She could be. But it might be that she knows exactly what she's saying. For all we know, she could be vaccinated. But she's telling you, the people that listen to her podcast, not to get vaccinated. For all we know, she could be vaccinated. She could be safe. Let's go into further detail on this.
Former President Trump is under fire from the far right for finally telling the truth. That's following comments he made recently defending the effectiveness of vaccines. Here's right-wing commentator and normally dependable Trump ally Candace Owens after Trump insisted to her that vaccines work.
You oftentimes forget how old Trump is. He comes from a generation. I've seen other people that are older have the exact same perspective. They came from a time before TV, before internet, before being able to conduct their independent research, and everything that they read in a newspaper that was pitched to them, they believed that was a reality. I believe also that he only reads the mainstream media news. Believe it or not, I do not believe that Trump reads or partakes in any other news sources. You know, I don't believe that Trump is on the internet.
Now, that's Candace Owens trying to explain Trump's view on the virus. I got another take on this. Not only is he telling the truth about the virus finally, but he's also testing the waters. Okay? Just like I just talked good about him, there are other people who might look at him and say, you know what, maybe he can tell the truth. Maybe I'll vote for him this time. You see, that's what he's calculating in his mind. I'm going to go into detail about that later on in the show. Okay? For those of you who are watching me on or listening to me on a podcast station somewhere in America or Canada or wherever I'm broadcast, understand what's going on with this. Donald Trump is weighing his options, and his options are getting real slim to none. He has a lot of indictments on the way for his company and maybe personal indictments for himself. The only way he can be protected from these indictments is to become president again, because everybody and their mother knows once you become president, all legal proceedings against you stop. That doesn't mean you're above the law. Okay? Let's get this understood, people. It doesn't mean you're above the law. No one's above the law in this country. But what it does mean is they hold off prosecution of you. They hold off until you get out of the White House. The reason why is because they don't want anything to disrupt you running this country. He knows this. So what he's testing the waters on, like I said, I'm gonna get into all that later on. Right now, I'm on this Candace Owens chick because either one or two things is going on with this woman. She's either one of these rich black folks who done got a little money, done married somebody rich, and now she feels like her and her family is okay. So she can go on being delusional, or she knows exactly what she's saying and she's plotting and planning with some more conservatives, because the plot is ongoing, people. That January 6th insurrection, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It failed. These people are planning on coming back for 2024 and quite possibly 2022, this year's elections, when the Senate and the House have their major elections. So the coup plot is still going. She could be a part of that. You didn't really hear too much about her and the whole January 6th thing. There were other players involved in that, but she's very much a part of this machine. And believe me, people, because I know a lot of minorities watch my show or listen to my show. There are minorities in this country who will throw their morality in the dirt and side with white supremacy and white supremacist policies just to get money. And then you got some buffoons out there who are just dumbfounded and don't know what's going on, so they go down any rabbit hole that sounds good to them. Listen to this creep Alex Jones. Listen to what he had to say to Donald Trump.
Is an emergency Christmas Day warning to President Trump. You are either completely ignorant about the so-called vaccine gene therapy that you helped ram through with Operation Warp Speed, or you're one of the most evil men who has ever lived to push this toxic poison on the public and to attack your constituents when they simply try to save their lives and the lives of others.
Now, Alex Jones is one of the most vile men that I've ever seen on TV. You know, that whole Sandy Hook thing that he did where he talked about Sandy Hook was fake and got sued for and lost. You know, I knew then that that man didn't have any morals. Those were real kids that were murdered. And for him to get on his podcast his show and talk about how it was some type of red flag, some kind of fake incident to help the Democrats. It was unbelievable. And if you find yourself listening and believing in some of the stuff that Alex Jones says out of his mouth, your morality is in question. Okay? Having morals is not just about how you was raised, because there are some people who are raised in, unmoral homes who still wind up growing up to have morals. Your morals is your belief in right from wrong, and you knowing that what you're doing is going to affect the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, and quite possibly kill other people. You see, people like Alex Jones and Candace Owens, these people are locked away behind mansions, feeding off. They're bottom feeders, but they've made good off being bottom feeders. They're gaining wealth off of being bottom feeders. And I'm gonna tell you something, coming from the black perspective, being a black male American, you see a lot of this in the hood. Okay, I'm gonna break this down for you to show you how it goes in the hood. You got corrupted people out here in the hood who terrorize your auntie, terrorize your mama, terrorize your brothers and sisters in the neighborhood with their illegal activities, gang crime, and stuff like that. And they don't want you to tell because they're gonna call you a snitch if you tell, or if you go against what they're doing to you and your family or to the neighborhood. They call you a snitch. You see, what that is they're being bottom feeders. They calculating in their mind that they can continue to do whatever they want to do to you, because all they got to do is say, you a snitch or you a rat, but you're not doing anything illegal. You're walking the straight path in life. They're the ones crooked. So they're trying to hide behind the expectations that you're not going to say nothing. And that's the same thing that's going on with these characters. Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and all these other people that's coming out here. Bill O'Reilly. They're being bottom feeders. These people are probably vaccinated themselves, but they know a big portion of this country don't want to get vaccinated. So they're weighing their options. I can be a bottom feeder and lean off of these people and get money from these people and support from these people for my show by telling them don't get vaccinated. The whole time I've been vaccinated, me and my whole family. So I'm going to tell them, man, look, they don't care if you live or die. That's not their business. Their business is making money. This is some dangerous stuff, and these are dangerous people. Let's continue on.
Now, we should repeat, Trump was just quite literally telling the truth about vaccines when he was pushing back on Candace Owens. Are you surprised, though, to see what she's saying in the aftermath of this and what Alex Jones is saying about this?
Not really, because you really can't put the genie back in the bottle. So what Trump unleashed can't just suddenly be undone. And you have people who have been out there parroting this line, telling all of their followers that this is the case. And they're not going to just turn around on a dime and say, oops, we were wrong because Donald Trump says this, because how stupid would they look?
And that's the key. They know that they will lose, support for their TV programs, their podcasts. These people are racking in millions of dollars. I haven't tapped into that yet. You see, it's hard to tap into the money when you have morals. People don't want that. I'm giving it to you straight up, especially if you're a minority, because for some reason this coronavirus is tailor-made for minorities, not just black people. When I say minorities, I mean all minorities. This virus is tailor-made for minorities to the point where it really affects us bad. Okay? It affects us bad, people. Get vaccinated. Don't play no games with your life. And if you're on the fence about it, think about this. The reason they won't let your kids in school unless your kids are vaccinated is because your child that's unvaccinated can come into that school and hurt other people's kids by getting them sick with chicken pox, smallpox, all kinds of stuff. I remember when I had custody of my daughter, one of my daughters, I had to take her when she was 13, 14 to get a papilloma virus vaccine shot. And some of you women out there who have custody of your kids, or some of you parents out there, I might be saying the name of it wrong. Reply in the comments. This will also let me know if you guys are watching my show. But reply in the comments on the exact vaccine it is. But there's a vaccine that your daughter must be vaccinated for. I mean, there's a virus that it's to keep your child from getting cervical cancer later on in life. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm sure that a lot of parents out here who have taken the child down there at the age 13, 14, somewhere in that area, y'all know what I'm talking about. But there's a vaccine that most young girls have to get at the age of 13 or 14 before they let them come back to school. And it's basically to keep them from catching cervical cancer later on in life. And for any of you nurse practitioners, doctors out there, or mothers or fathers who know what I'm talking about, leave a comment in the section below. And this is what I mean when I say they have a reason for making you not have your kid come to their schoolhouse if they're not vaccinated. Basically, it's mandated. So you got all these people talking about they don't want no mandate on the vaccine, but you already have vaccines out here that's mandated. Your kid legally cannot go to school unless they have shot records proving that they've taken certain shots before they can even enter school. It makes no sense for these people to be talking about they don't want to take the shot. Let's continue on. You know, I enjoyed this conversation that I was listening to earlier with these people because, you know, they're basically breaking it down for you.
Owens, she lives in a world where you're supposed to get medical information on obscure websites on the internet. Like that's a very different worldview that, you know, even Donald Trump doesn't ascribe to. And so, you know, he's basically just saying what is true, what the doctors are saying, and she's saying, well, you know, he doesn't really know that because he's old and he doesn't spend his time basically going down rabbit holes on the internet to get medical information. You know, it's just such an alternate universe, and I don't think it can be undone. I think that's one of the most dangerous things about the Trump era is that even if he wanted to try to pull it back, I don't think he can.
So basically what she's saying is the beast, excuse me, people. Basically what she's saying is the beast that Donald Trump has created, okay? This monster of lies and half-truths just to get votes, to tell people what they want to hear, is catching up with them. So now they're in a situation where, you know, he done been vaccinated. Him, probably all of his kids and grandkids, all of them are vaccinated. Donald Trump had access to some of the top doctors in the world. He had access to crackpots, you know, the quirky ones. Donald Trump chose to listen to the actual scientists and doctors that told him behind the scenes that you need to get vaccinated. And now he's telling the American people the truth, like, hey man, you know, I'm vaccinated. You see, and another thing, what he's doing with that, which I'm, like I said, I'm gonna talk about later on in the show, he's setting it up to where he's already told you. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean when I say that. This is a good one. Say you meet a woman and you guys go out on a date. You don't know she have any kids. For some people out there, dating somebody with kids is a deal breaker. For some people, for others not. So what that person does is, on your very first date, they say, I got 5 kids. I just want to let you know that. Okay, you got 5 kids. Now, if the date continues to go on and y'all keep dating, and then later on you meet that person's 5 kids, you can't come back and say, well, you didn't tell me. So that's basically what Donald Trump is doing. He's putting it out there, man. Look, if you and your family die because you don't get vaccinated, hey, don't blame me. I already told you I'm vaccinated. He throwing it out there, but he's throwing it out there half-ass. He letting you know I'm vaccinated. I'm good. But you got a choice. He's telling you, you know, I respect your choice, because he knows that's red meat. This whole I got a choice thing, that's red meat to these people. And it's going to get a lot of people killed. It's going to get a lot of people sick. But most of these people are going to be his voters. He knows this. The Republican Party knows this. We finna get into this first commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna go in more detail about this.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
A guy who's actually made his living from just telling lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Now, Reverend Al, you and I have known Donald Trump for a very long time. And I had to laugh last week when people said, oh, this is just Donald Trump saying this and he'll change tomorrow and what. Now, you know, Donald Trump obviously understands what he needs to do to get back to the White House. And there's been a debate. Is he going to run again? Is he not going to run again? This is what Dick Morris would call triangulation.
Now, that was Joe from Morning Joe. I watched that program sometime. Even though Joe is a conservative at heart, You can tell Mika, his wife, she's also one of the hosts of that show. You can tell she's tempered him a little bit. He has conservative values about life and how politics should be ran, but you can tell that Mika, by being married to a woman that's lean more towards the liberal side, that she's tempered him a little bit to the point where he understands that Donald Trump is a con man. And I like him, even though he's a conservative. Me and him might not agree on political views if we was to sit down and talk about how the country should be ran and things like that. But I can tell you about this dude right here. He's giving you the real people. You know, like I say, he's conservative. He has a history of being conservative all the way back to Ronald Reagan. But he's letting you know that this Donald Trump character, this man is a con man. And he's testing the waters to see how people are going to react to him telling you the truth about being vaccinated. He's weighing his options. Because like I said, people, Donald Trump knows the only way he's going to get out of the trouble. See, Donald Trump is at the end of his life. If he goes to prison, he's going to die in prison. Even if they give him a little bit of time. You know, if they give him 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, more than likely, if he goes in, he's not going to come out unless he's in a body bag. Not because they just gave him so much time, but because he's already old. He knows this. Donald Trump is trying to spend the rest of his corrupt years out and free. And the only way he's going to be able to do that is if he gets back into the White House. He knows this. But right now, as it stands, if he runs for public office again, he's going to lose. No matter how much the Republicans try to gerrymander their districts, you got other Republicans right now that will not vote for Donald Trump again. Because it was just too many problems with him when he was in office. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to step back and try to make himself seem like he's a reasonable person by telling people, I've been vaccinated, I suggest you get vaccinated. He's trying to tell you the truth now, but it's not going to work. When you live a life of lying all the time and being known as a liar, and you create this beast of other liars, this machine that pumps out lie after lie after lie. Now that you finally step up and say, man, this is really what's going on, get vaccinated because you can't die. His constituents are not believing this. These people have fallen down so far into the rabbit hole, they can't climb out of it now. And a lot of them are going to die. Let's get to this next clip.
You look at all of the Virginia exit polls and you look at the focus groups. Mm-hmm. And you have people that voted for Joe Biden and then voted for Youngkin. Yeah. And they all voted for Youngkin. They all criticized Biden on Afghanistan, on the virus, on the economy, on everything, on the supply chain, on everything. And it was a strong condemnation of Joe Biden. But then they asked these same people, do you regret your vote? Every one of them said no. They would have voted against Donald Trump again.
Now, the reason why they said they would vote for Joe Biden again and voted against Donald Trump again is because he is so corrupt that even the people that like his bigoted policies, they know he's bad for this country. You see, they need somebody who's going to put across their racist agenda of white rule and white domination, but they don't want Donald Trump as the head of that because he's a dummy. Being a dummy doesn't mean you're not cold and calculating. Understand what I mean by this? I've been in the streets. I've seen people who are straight dummies when it comes to politics, when it comes to book smarts. But when it comes to criminal activity, it makes these people seem like they're some of the smartest, savviest people in the world. You know, because they're cold and calculating in how they move. That's Donald Trump. He's a straight dummy. He is not what the conservative party needs to move ahead with their dirty politics, because he is basically out for himself. He's about to throw all of these people under the bus that voted for him, because he's weighing his options, okay? This is what he's doing. He's saying, I got this many hundreds of thousands of people who likes the dirty, underhanded craziness, but these people who vote for me that are falling down a rabbit hole, they're not enough. So I'm finna throw them under the bus. Even though I might lose 10,000 votes by throwing them under the bus, I might gain 50,000 votes over here if I come out and say, man, look, go on and get vaccinated. Because that might make Republicans look at him different, like say, okay, maybe he's learned how to maneuver. That's what he's calculating in his mind. He's calculating that in order for me to get in the White House, I'm going to need more than just the crazy people. I already got the crazy people in my back pocket. He knows this. Even the ones that booed him. When him and Bill O'Reilly, I'm going to talk about that later. He done got booed twice by saying he got vaccinated. But guess what? He doesn't care about them people booing him, because it was only a handful. And even the ones that booed him still are going to vote for him. He already got them in his pocket. Understand how cold and calculating this man is. That doesn't mean he's intelligent. He's a common criminal, but he's taking criminality to a whole nother level. I'm going to get into this last commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the 2 times he got booed.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
I'm ready.
Camera's ready.
I'm ready. Welcome to Are You Scared Talent Shows. It's a new talent show that we put on TV for y'all to get used to, because these people can't act. And so we're going to show y'all what the real deal is when you get on front of the camera, and what some garbage acting look like. I tell you, garbage acting. This is Are You Scared Talent Shows, okay? We're going to show y'all some acts of some talents. $5,000. It really ain't $5,000. I just said $5,000 because $5,000 sound like some people want to come and join a talent show if it was paying $5,000. So I'm your host, Eric Jones. Are You Scared Talent Shows?
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so
Don't.
There you have it, people. Donald Trump, that was the second time. The first time he was on stage in front of 10,000 people. You see, that's a cold and calculating man who has led a life of bigotry, conning, and getting over on people. He's weighing his options. That small little crowd that booed him out of the bigger crowd is nothing to him. He's trying to get more votes. He's trying to get the more sensible people to say, okay, maybe he's come to his senses now about lying about this virus. He's finna throw the crazy people under the bus. Understand what I'm trying to tell you, people. Donald Trump always does this right when he's about to get rid of you. You can go back on his history and look at all of the people he had work for his administration that he fired. At first, something bad comes out about him. He doesn't say nothing at first. If it makes him look bad, he'll say, well, I really don't know this guy. You know, he works for me, yeah, but I don't hardly even speak to him. And next thing you know, he's gone. Somebody done replaced him. That's what he's about to do with all of these people that's running around talking about the vaccine is bad. Another thing, this is most important. I've experienced this myself. Okay? For those of you who listen to me who are in your 40s and 50s on the radio, listen to me now. Listen to me very carefully. As we get older in life, we start thinking about our legacy. Okay? There's a lot of things going on in Donald Trump's life. Number one, he can be indicted at any day for criminal charges in Georgia and New York and possibly other places. Okay? More than likely he got money, so more than likely he's still going to die a rich man. Okay? More than the average person. But to him, he might have to go bankrupt. He's looking at the fact that he's at the end of his life, and there are two things that I can say Donald Trump did in his presidency, even though he's ranked as one of the worst presidents of all time. He's ranked down there at the bottom, like number 6. Okay, he's ranked low as one of the worst presidents of all time. But there's two things he did in his presidency that's a part of his legacy, that even if he goes to prison or even if he dies, that he wants to keep his legacy known for. Number one, Space Force. Space Force was founded under Donald Trump. Some people say Space Force, which is another branch of the military, was already in the making before Donald Trump got in office. But the fact that Space Force was announced when he was in office means that's his baby. Okay, that's number one, Space Force. Number two, when the pandemic hit, he enacted, or people around him enacted, Operation Warp Speed, which helped get a vaccine out to the public within a year, less than a year. Most vaccines take up to 5 to 10 years. Operation Warp Speed put it out there fast. Okay? Those are two things, even though he's going down in history as one of the worst presidents of all time, right there at the bottom. But he has two things in his presidency that he can be accredited for. Just like Obama had the fact that he killed bin Laden. He was a part of the, he was president when bin Laden got captured and killed. That's one of the things that Barack Obama is going to go down in his legacy. The second, out of all the presidents that tried to get bin Laden, Barack Obama's the one that did it. The fact that Barack Obama got a Nobel Prize, that's going to go down in his legacy. The fact that Barack Obama passed Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, that's going to go down in Obama's legacy. Each president has something in their presidency that solidifies their legacy. Donald Trump knows this. And even though he's an old man now, he's still a con man. He's still trying to get out of these charges that's coming. But he is also trying to solidify his legacy. That's why when Candace Owens was asking him about this vaccine and why people are still dying from it, he's saying, hold up. It ain't because of the vaccine these people are dying from it. It's the ones that's not getting the vaccine. The reason why he's doing that is another reason, is because he doesn't want people dying to be connected to his vaccine, because that vaccine is his baby. So now he's in a situation where he created all these liars that's talking about not getting the vaccine, but in his mind he said, hold up, this vaccine is my legacy. This is my legacy. I can't let these right-wing talk show hosts get out here and talk bad about the vaccine in my face, because that vaccine is tied to Donald Trump. He's the one who put out there Operation Warp Speed. So I hope I paint this big picture for you guys and let you understand what's going on with this cat. Let's go a little further to the second time.
Tens of thousands of people in Alabama gathering for Donald Trump's rally as the state struggles with a surge of new coronavirus cases. Trump facing a wave of boos, in fact, by his own supporters when trying to tell the crowd to get vaccinated.
In your freedoms, I do. Bree, you got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But you got, no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know. But you do have your freedoms. You have to maintain that. You have to maintain that. And you got to get your kids back to school.
See, that's a man who knows his legacy is in jeopardy. He knows this. Donald Trump knows his legacy when it comes to that vaccine is in jeopardy, because he created this machine of liars. Okay, Donald Trump created this machine of liars that has been doing him well. But now that the lies have caught up with him and it's stepping into vaccine territory, now he's like, hold up, this vaccine is a great thing, because 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when people talk about the pandemic of 2020, they're going to talk about how a vaccine was created to stop it. And he don't want to tarnish that. We're not going to be around 100 years from now, but our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids who are around, they're going to look back on this time period. And they're going to look at who was president. This is what historians talk about when they talk about World War II. They talk about who was president during World War II. Who was president during the Vietnam War. Who was president during Desert Storm. Who was president during the pandemic of 2021. This is a part of his legacy. And he don't want these lunatics, the same people that he goes to when he needs their vote, spreading all these lies about that vaccine. He done stepped in his own trap. 2022 people, we in 2022 now, and I hope that 2022, especially when it comes to this pandemic, is better than 2021. And we as adults have to walk a fine line with seeing our relatives and our friends who are scared to take the vaccine after we done took it. We have to walk that fine line and saying, man, look, go get the vaccine, man. You know, it ain't gonna kill you. Very rarely people have an allergic reaction to any vaccine. Vaccines are not 100% foolproof. Okay. There's nothing in this world that's 100% fail-proof, people. But the vaccine does work for the vast majority of Americans and people around the world. So don't listen to these clowns on these clown shows telling you when they bring up 1 or 2 cases out of millions. Listen to what I'm saying. 1 or 2 cases of people getting sick because of the vaccine. They throw that up there. Don't listen to that. That's noise in the background. On the most part, the vaccine is safe. I've taken the vaccine. I was sore in my arm the first time I took the vaccine. The second time I took the vaccine, because you know I had to get 2 shots. I haven't got the booster yet, but I'm going to get it. As soon as things open back up, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to go down there and see about getting the booster. But the vaccine, I'm not metallic. I didn't turn into no X-Man or no stuff like that. Get the vaccine, people. Save your friends' lives, your parents' lives, your kids' lives. Get it. Because you don't know how you can affect the next person. You know, you run around thinking you're bulletproof, and the vaccine is not going to, and the virus is not going to kill you. But that first time you cough and it gets on somebody else, you might kill that person. Have a sense of morals about yourself. I hope you guys learned something from today. This is the Daily Read, and I'm out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Bring in the business.